Greetings, friends and internet explorers. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Geeks Under Grace, where we kind of look at things of faith and life and how they kind of mush together into the things that we call our daily walk. My name is Chris, and I want to thank you for kind of hanging out here for a couple minutes and exploring things. So, stereotypes. Oh my gosh, I just have had enough of the stereotypes, and they're running rampant in our society. This whole thing about gingers not having souls, oh my gosh, you know how that makes me feel as a redhead, as a member of the Ginger Club, which there is a secret society, by the way, but I'm not supposed to tell you that. The stereotypes that go on about redheads being angry and hot-headed and all these things, and I know there's a lot of examples that point that maybe possibly we do have some sort of short Irish fuse or something, but it's not always true, and it's not always applicable in every case. And I know I can't help you understand that without you knowing me, but can you trust me for a minute on that? Now, here's the real danger. You know, I can shake off the redhead stereotypes. I'm a little bit bigger than that. But here's the danger in stereotypes. When we begin to associate certain characteristics with certain people based on their skin color or maybe even their vocation, we are trotting down a slippery slope to destruction. And let me give you an example. The recent officer that was killed basically just because he was an officer of the law. When we start applying stereotypes, as an example, I'm going to give you this as an example, don't take this out of context, but when we apply a stereotype to somebody to say all cops are jerks and part of systematic racism, and therefore they must be killed. No, that is not the case at all. It's a very small portion of cops that are being the bad apples in the bin, if you will, and to apply them to the majority of all police officers, the one thing that a few do is completely irresponsible and really kind of the highest level of ignorance as a culture. And I want to challenge us to think about that, not only from the cop perspective. I want to challenge us to think about how do we look at those around us, and what are the assumptions that we go to when we see certain people of certain cultures or certain vocations or whatever. What are our own biases? What are our own thoughts when we see somebody? But please, let's not take my word for this, my opinion for this. Let's look in the Bible and see what is written in there about this very topic. And these are the words of Jesus. Now, if you don't accept Jesus as Christ, as the Messiah, as the Savior of the world, at least take his words as being a pretty smart guy, because he says this a couple thousand years ago. He says, "Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment." How do we come about right judgment? The way we come about right judgment is to be in a relationship with somebody, or at least observe somebody's character before we make assumptions on them, before we say, because this person is blank, insert here, whatever, you know, the color of their skin, or their vocation, or the car they drive, or the kind of, I don't know, just any of those things that you could fill in there. Because this person is blank, then this person is blank. When we make those assumptions, we're doing so rather irresponsibly and with a great deal of ignorance, I might add, if we don't know that person. And we see somebody who actually has this conversation about Jesus. If we go clear back to the beginning of John, in verse 42, and this is chapter 1, a couple of guys are talking about Jesus, and they're saying to another guy, "Hey, I think we found the one. I think we found the one that Moses talked about. I think we found this person." And they said, you know, that he's from Nazareth. And this guy says in verse 46, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" Now, because Jesus was a Nazarene, the guy assumed that, hey, you know what? He's not who you're thinking he is. You know, nothing good can come of this town. Apparently, it was one of those kind of towns where nothing really good happens, and nobody really likes anybody that comes from there. And so this guy's saying, hey, no way, man. You can't be right about this, because nothing good comes from this town. And of course, if you go on to read the rest of the New Testament, you see all the miracles and all the amazing things that Jesus did that totally proved him wrong. And he stereotyped him based on where he was from. So that's something to pray about, don't you think? For your homework, I want you to go out tomorrow and challenge yourself and see if you catch yourself in those times where you look at somebody and go, well, because they're this, I think they're this. And pray about that. And seek deep those true answers and the true responses that we should have. And maybe you need to even kind of rectify that in your own spirit and spend some time in prayer about that. As always, hit the like button down below if you like this, and hit subscribe up above. And down in the comments below, let us know some of the things that you maybe struggle with as far as your stereotypes. Hey, thanks for watching, and have a great day.